Perfect. So again, welcome. I'm DKG Zavos. This is King Will with me today. We don't have a third person. We don't have a guest today. I do apologize. But to reiterate, this is the Entry Hazard Podcast. I still don't have a good tagline. I hope that tagline is probably what I stick with forever, is that welcome to the Entry Hazard Podcast. We talk about competitive Pokemon, and I still don't have a good tagline like 5 years from now.
Yeah,
if this
where my
podcast
beard will be
lives that
gray
long.
at that point.
And if we don't have a good tagline 5 years down the road and we're still talking about competitive Pokemon,
Cool.
somebody just needs to, like, eliminate me from digital media forever. So, let's start out with the news, because it's kind of slow this week. Last week we spent an entire episode talking about Worlds, and we divided that into 3 sections, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start out with Pokemon Shuffle. Pokemon Shuffle is on mobile now. I can on
Isn't it in
iDigital
Japan
Times.
only, though?
What's that?
Isn't it only in Japan?
I think it's only in Japan. Google Play Store, available download. I mean, we could check it. Let me double check on my phone, because I've got it on iDigital Times, and it says that it's available for download. But I haven't double checked to see if it's... I saw in the news that it was only available, so let me look it up. I've got my phone right here, which I can't show on stream, but Pokemon Shuffle is what we're Googling. Pokemon Jukebox, I do not see it on my own store. So that's a little annoying. So it appears to only be available in Japan still.
And to be honest, the only people that care about it are people under the age of, 13.
There we go. Pokemon Jukebox. None of these are Pokemon games either. So that's kind of funny that Pokemon still hasn't quite eliminated, as I'm refocusing, all of the Pokemon whatever. I'm not worried about it.
They still
I
got
don't
the
see it
Pokemon
on the top
bootleg
apps.
games,
But neither one of us plays Pokemon Shuffle, so that really doesn't affect either one of us.
Not at all.
So, moving on. Something that I have played in the past, Pokemon Rumble World. Go ahead and go and update it. There's a code. And of course, now that I've got it on Nintendo.com, if you go to Nintendo.com/what's new, there should be something in news. Anyway, let me see if I can highlight this code. There we go. No, of course not, because it's too far over. 48213190 is the code that's being cut off. I don't really care to fix it on the overlay. But if you update Pokemon Rumble, you can get 100 Pokemon. You can get 100 Poke Diamonds for Pokemon Rumble, which, depending on what stage in Pokemon Rumble you're in, might buy you most of a balloon.
Yeah.
But there's an update to Pokemon Rumble. This did convince me to turn it on and update it. I will admit that. But, I mean, I played it for like an hour and then put it right back down.
Yeah, it's just like a beat 'em up game.
Yeah,
Nothing. It's fun to kill time. Like, if you're tired of, if you're like me and the only game you really have is, your Pokemon and Civ, then yeah, it's a good little thing to kill some time. Or you're like me and you got to wait in your car and you bring your DS with you and you got to sit out there for a freaking hour, wait for your girlfriend to come out work because she doesn't let you know that she's stuck with a customer who doesn't know what shoe size she has. It's great stuff like that. Sorry.
Never had experience with that, have you?
No, never.
You know what?
Hashtag management.
It's a fun toilet game. I don't think it goes much further than that. I mean, you take it to the bathroom with you when you got to poop.
Yeah, it's not a competitive game.
There's not much to it, and that's kind of the problem. And really, you can only play it for about an hour or two at a time because your balloons have to reset and you have to wait for them. So you set it down, you forget about it, and then that's about it. That's really what happens, is that you forget about it for a few hours, a few days, and then you just stop playing it. Because I'm not going to put real money into Pokemon Rumble World. There's nothing in it that makes me really want to.
I think I put like $1 or something in there because I had a Nintendo, like one of the gift cards.
Mm-hmm.
because there's nothing I'm going to actually ever buy on like the Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
So
No, and that makes sense.
I had like $3. So I was like, oh, I'll use it. Why not? Because I use it for like I think I had like a $10 one. I use it for shuffle, not shuffle, Pokebank like for the first time, like when
Yeah.
you actually had to buy it for like a year.
Yep.
And I got like a random Zelda game that was like $2. And I was like, I got some money left. Let me just put it into this. And yeah, whatever. It was well worth it because you actually got to buy some time in playing the game.
Yeah. No, and I don't
It's
know.
like damn near Candy Crush, where like you're playing a game that you get stuck and it's like you run out of lives. You gotta wait like 2 hours to play 5 more levels.
Yep. And that's why I don't bother with Pokemon Rumble World outside of the toilet game where it's like, all right, I really don't have enough time to do another batch of eggs while I'm sitting on the toilet waiting. I'm just gonna play a couple rounds because you can get through a round of Pokemon Rumble World. That's not a problem.
Yeah,
Nobody's
like
gonna question you.
no, not at all.
Oh God, no! Why? Dear Obs, I know that I eliminated the capture of the cursor, but that's okay. We'll get there. It only screwed up one, so
Yep.
like, it's actually kind of funny that I'm not doing the dual stream for this podcast. It's not happening. I don't want to deal with two of these anymore. Anyway, it's funny to think that presumably half of the viewers are like, what do you mean he screwed something up? And then the other half are like, oh my God, Avos, please fix this. Stop. So
What
anyway,
is YouTube fine?
that's Pokemon Rumble. So Pokemon Rumble, Pokemon Shuffle, fantastic. Oh, that one's still got the cursor. I'm not going to fix that one. I broke one. I'm not breaking the other one. You're just going to have to deal with the cursor. I'm sorry. So, third on the list, there was a rumor out there, and this is on kpopstars.com, that the next Pokemon game is going to involve flowers. Is anybody surprised?
No, because when I was at Worlds, there was a lot of flowers out there, dude. Like a lot of flowers. Like everywhere. Like everywhere you look, there's flowers. You walk around Boston, brick and mortar. Convention center,
Mm-hmm.
flowers.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. You go through Kalos. Kalos was really one of the first places where we got to walk through tall flowers as a tall grass.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers were everywhere in Kalos. The next one in the series should be Z or the equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Floette, the giant weapon, was a big flower. So really, there's nothing about this that surprises me. It's funny that they put it this way. I applaud Pokemon for going ahead and being like, you know what, the next one's going to involve flowers, and like starting a little bit of hullabaloo and being like, flowers, man, let me tell you about these flowers, and then just leaving it at that. Also, I think the interviewer kind of baited it, where it was like, can you give me a one-word summary about what the next Pokemon game will entail? And then they were like, flowers? Like, I feel like that's a good troll on Nintendo's part, or Pokemon's part in general. Like, I think that's hilarious.
But like I said, they already like kind of like snipped it out there at Worlds, So, and I feel like because of like the movie and everything coming out, like we get like the little like either the baby zygardes or like the retarded T-tar eggs, whatever you want to call them, like they're baiting everything. Like they're like, hey, we got stuff coming up. We ain't gonna let you know when, but it's coming up. Like, let's be real. Like, I'm down to play with like Eternal Floette or whatever it's called.
I'm kind of excited. I think that they've proven that it doesn't work with Eviolite, though.
Yeah, but it's its own entity, though. You know what I mean? Like, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, but if it had Eviolite, that would be sick.
Yeah, but it still dives to like things named Bisharp.
And probably Metagross too.
Anything that has like steel typing or poison typing.
Now, one question I do have: the Eternal Floette. Now I have to look this up. Because there's the Eternal Floette. Let's look it up. As is Floette. As Floette, there was something about the stats on As is Floette. I'm not sure. Eternal Flower form. Let's go ahead and go there. Eternal Flower, let's see, 74, 65, 67. I don't know if it's got different abilities or if you can get the hidden ability for it. I'm not sure. But this transitions into our next thing on the news. Symbiosis. And then just a quick summary. The only Pokemon that can go ahead and get Symbiosis is Florges, Floette, and Flabebe. Those are the only 3 Pokemon that get it, so it's that chain of Pokemon. And then at that point, I should probably start the recording for this so that I don't have to... Yeah. Oh, I tried to break things. Let me go over...
You already did break things, though.
Yeah, I did. It's okay. Yeah, let's start the recording there. Cool. Whatever. We've broken things. We fixed things. We're fine. Recording's good now. Anyway, so Symbiosis is an ability in Pokemon. Fantastic. And then there's an item in Pokemon called the eject button. We already knew that there were some issues with the eject button because the eject button, if you get hit with U-turn while you're carrying... If I'm carrying the eject button and Will hits me with Volt Switch or U-turn, well, then he doesn't get to go anywhere. He gets stuck, which is super good. With that... Oh, man, I do have to fix it. Dang it. Dang it, Overlay. All right, let me fix this subregion shortly. Oh, God. I thought I was going to be able to get away with it. I couldn't. I couldn't get away with it. Darn those meddling kids. And their dog, too. Anyway, so now you can see a pretty similar overlay to what I'm running now because, hey, this is my video. Now, I want to give a huge shout-out to War Weenie. Because War Weenie is the reason that I knew about this at all. War Weenie came into my chat on, what was that, Friday night? I think it was Friday night. Yeah,
oh, no,
Friday.
I wasn't actually around.
It was Friday. Came into my chat and he's like, weird, nobody's abusing the Symbiosis U-turn glitch. Or the Symbiosis eject button glitch. I was like, War Weenie, first of all, I have no idea what you mean. Second of all, I have no idea what you mean. So tell me about it. So he tells me about it. And it's actually kind of cool. And I hope I didn't... Oh, hey, I'm live on Twitch. Thanks. So what's going on in this is that we've got Florges with Symbiosis, which is a hidden ability on Florges, which makes it a big pain in the ass to get. It really is. Because you can't just shiny chain it like you would in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. You have to go ahead and try and get it. It's dumb. Regardless...
Oh, you gotta get in Friend Safari and...
Friend Safari, you have to do Fairy Friend Safari or try and get it in a Horde, which is a 1 in 5, which means you have to narrow it down to which one had it, which is just a huge pain, not worth it. But I had a viewer that was like, hey, Avos, I have a Symbiosis Florges for you if you want to use it. And so that's what we did. So anyway, I brought out Donnie Darkdog. Donnie Darkdog had the eject button. Donnie Darkdog taking... This is actually a fully invested Landorus. This is a competitive team from Will that I'm playing against. So Donnie Darkdog takes that superpower from Lando. You see Symbiosis is given over to Donnie Darkdog, but Donnie Darkdog is simultaneously in battle and out of battle. And I think that's where the glitch happens, is the fact that it's considered in and out of battle. And so while Symbiosis gives the item while Umbreon is in and out of battle, it does a lot of weird things. So in most items, it gives you double effectiveness. And so what we saw with Eviolite was that we saw essentially double effectiveness. I think War Weenie did the calculations, and it's actually 2.25 because it's 1.5 times 2. Or 1.5 times 1.5, so it stacks like that. So it'd be 2.25. I'm not totally sure, but I haven't done enough calculations on it. What I do know is that a Porygon 2 with Eviolite took 30, it was 27, lost 27 HP from a U-turn from that same Landorus, and it lost about 60. I think it was like 58 HP that it lost from the U-turn before it had anything on it. And that's max HP, max special attack, modest Porygon 2. So you guys can go ahead and do the damage calcs on that. I don't know. But what you see right now is that Donnie Darkdog is gaining 4 leftovers. 4 leftovers, recoveries. And it goes like that until you switch Donnie Darkdog out. And that's about it. That is the glitch. Will, what do you think about the viability on this? Can you see anything that would make this work?
Yeah, using bulky crap, but the same respect that I don't see it as a usable thing because I don't see Florges as viable whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also because I'm a firm believer in you better carry a steel Pokemon on your team because fairies are real.
Yep.
And if you don't, for me at least, for the longest time, the biggest bane of my existence was Sylveon, and because Hyper Voice is a stupid, stupid thing, and it kills everything. I don't care what you are, it kills it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not ready for it, meh.
Like, the cool thing about this is that if you have something like Sylveon, now you're doubling into Fairy and you're going to open yourself up to a lot of steel weaknesses. But if you can pass off choice specs, you have double choice specs. So you're basically doing 200% damage on top. And you can do a ton of damage. It's like taking anything that was not very effective and making it neutral. Taking anything that was neutral and making it super effective. I mean, it's mind-blowing the amount of damage that you could do with choice specs.
Yeah, but like I said before too, like my Ferrothorn right there that's on screen, he has no attack investment and he takes Sylveon down to like well under half.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
so like it's not one of those things like if I see that I'm always like I always target down to freaking Sylveon just because that's who I am, that's what I do. I see that as always the biggest threat. You got freaking Mega Kangaskhan out there. I don't see that as a threat. They could just sit there. I don't care. But Sylveon's a bigger threat.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Personal opinion.
And Will and I discussed in the video, like toward the tail end after we showed off the glitch. I mean, I keep Umbreon out here just to show off that it's going to continue getting leftovers recovery because normally what you would see is that Burn does about twice as much damage as leftovers recovers, and then Leech Seed does extra damage on top of that. And with leftovers recovery, I think I was still recovering a little bit more. I was at 122, so let's wait for this and see how much Burn and Leech Seed does. If I'm still above 122 or not, I don't remember. But I mean, with 4 times leftovers recovery, it's pretty cool. But you have such a long, convoluted setup that it's really difficult to try and set up. It's so many steps, and it doesn't seem like a whole lot of steps because you're like, okay, I just need this and this. And no, I lose 2 HP from Burn and Leech Seed. But only losing 2 HP from Burn and Leech Seed, that's not bad.
No, not at all. But same respect, like, you're killing so much time, and then you're literally sitting there hoping that your one bulky Pokemon can, body everything.
Yeah. And so one of the things that Will and I were noticing is that with 4 leftovers recoveries, you are eating up a ton of timer. So, I mean, it was probably, 30, almost 40 seconds with as many things as we had going on. And you see that I switched Umbreon out right then. I switched that out because I wanted to show that the leftovers resets after you switch out. So if you switch out and switch back in, the glitch is done. You have reset. But like with all of the things that we had going, we had Leech Seed on 2 different Pokemon. We had 4 leftovers. We had burns on both Pokemon. We were eating up what felt like almost a minute of timer just in end turn animations. But the only viability that I can see for this, the only viability that I can presumably conceive of is a revamped Perish Trap. That's it. Because Perish Trap is already a style of team that you're going to expect to see an eject button on, right? So you kind of expect that you're going to be able to switch. There's going to be a point in the match where you're going to see a double switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
You expect that sort of thing. And so if you had Gothitelle with eject button, if you had Florges come in with Symbiosis, and you double switch for Mega Gengar and whatever else, whether it's Mega Kang, Azumarill, Ender Fake Out user here, it doesn't really matter. But you're going to see a lot of the spread damage moves against Perish Trap because they want to try and get as much damage in on that last turn. So, is this something that Perish Trap's going to be able to take advantage of? Maybe.
No.
Probably not. I don't see it. It's fun, it's gimmicky, it's cute. It's an amazing glitch. I'm glad that I got a chance to see it in person. I'm glad that I got a chance to experiment with it. But I don't see its viability, so don't expect it going to Worlds next year. If it is used in Worlds, freak out. But I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, freak out like if skill swap, Cresselia or Wyguard Machamp on the same team.
Yes.
Avos.
Hey, listen, I gave you credit where credit was due. We had already discussed that.
I'm
you were
still
right.
going to point that out for you for years to come, bro.
That's totally okay. All right, with that, I think that's about it. That's about as long as I can talk about the glitch.
I got one more fun thing for us. Pokemon, big ups to them and F you at the same time. You guys actually caught me hacking. Kudos. I got banned off. My Omega Ruby cartridge has been banned on PGL.
Which is funny to me because you do most of your... Like, I just want to backpedal here because I think that there's an assumption that we assumed that the only people that were going to get banned from Pokemon going through and doing the shadow bans, Will and we both assumed, and I'm showing off the fact that the next thing we're going to talk about is VGC point assignments. Anyway, we assumed that the only people that were going to get banned were going to be the people that flagrantly cheated. Like the people that were making unviable Pokemon or non-viable Pokemon, things with abilities that you shouldn't be able to obtain yet or ever, because there was some abuse of some of the hacking devices to get hidden abilities before the hidden abilities were available yet. And that I can understand. Okay, Contrary Superior, before you could get it, people were using that for a week. Those people got banned. We assumed that was kind of what was going to happen. But what ended up happening, Will has only ever used his to fix IVs, to fix natures. We're not talking flagrant cheating here. It's fixing
and
IVs
get items
and natures.
Because I don't play the Mason at all.
Yeah.
I don't. I refuse to go into Mason and sit there for a couple hours just to get a damn choice band.
Yeah. So he hacked in items. He hacked in CP. It is CP, right?
BP. Battle
BP,
points.
Battle points. You're right. Hacked in BP. If you could hack in CP, then I think that you deserve to get banned. That'd be pretty funny. Getting championship points out of that. Amazing. But he hacked in BP, hacked in items, because then at that point you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to hunt everything down. And we discussed this in the first podcast. All it was a time saver. Never have Will and I ever advocated hacking Pokemon as a way to abuse the system, to abuse competitive formats, to abuse your opponent. We have advocated it. We haven't even advocated it necessarily, but we have discussed it as a time saver and said that we accepted that as an okay thing in our opinion. Pokemon is more than... I mean, it's their game, so they can disagree with us if they want. And I mean, there's not much we can do about it. We have to abide by the rules. But for Will, the amount of Pokemon that he breeds, I was surprised that he got shadow banned.
That sucked too, because like all my regular Pokemon are bred and
Hmm.
specifically IV because I don't know how to do all that extra shit like get X Y EVs here and there. No, I do that shit on my own because I'm very specific about how I do things. I spend hours on end on the Nugget Bridge damage calc. That's what I do. That's how I do things,
Hmm.
and I don't because I don't know how to do anything else. So and it's too complicated for me because I'm old. It is what it is. So like all like I get it. Like I can see like if I was using like an 8 IV Landorus, some shit like that. No, I'm using like shit that's like legit, like but
Hmm.
I get it, and kudos to them for at least being like, hey, you have manipulated files, because I'm not gonna lie, I have like 100 blue orbs and or 999 blue orbs and red orbs. I can't delete them. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? And like, and they got all the gems in there. Like,
Hmm.
I don't. You can't use the gems on battle spot, so what the hell do I care?
Hmm.
So I get it. Like it's cool. Like that they're on to all that. But for our competition, that's up really bad because you can't see where I'm at, and I had to
Will
buy a
making it
brand new
great
game.
for editing today. Thanks, Will.
Not a problem. I'll take a Halucha.
Lucha, that's what you want today?
Yeah. Also,
I'll give you a chop.
yes.
Insert
Damn, there was
crappy
enough.
fighting type here.
Yeah.
I'll give you
No,
a
there was something else.
Dunsparce. That's what I'll give you.
Ooh.
You'll probably be happy about that too. Um, no, I. The one thing. The
But it
one
made
thing
me
that
get
I'm
after
disappointed
Sapphire.
in is like kudos to Nintendo because I got to see the email that they sent you because you talked to Nintendo support or Pokemon support, whichever company you emailed it to.
Hmm.
Um, and their only recommendation was to play on a cartridge that hadn't been tampered with.
Hmm.
And so what you ended up doing was going out and buying a new cartridge. But basically, from what it seems, from what I can tell, not being a Nintendo Pokemon rep at all, not having access to their servers, not being part of their tech support, all of these aside, it seems as though your cartridge being tied to your PGL account, there's information going between your cartridge and the servers, and there's a flag marked somewhere in the servers that this account, that this sync ID has been marked, and it doesn't matter if you go into your action replay or your power save and try and roll back your save data before you got flagged, it
Which I
still
tried to do.
pops. I mean, it still pops though. And
Yeah.
so seeing the email, again, it was a little disappointing that they're basically like, hey, just use a cartridge that wasn't hacked. As long as it wasn't tampered with, you'll be fine. So,
And I bought a
understandable,
new cartridge
yes.
for $10, so it works out for me.
Yeah.
Like, kudos to Best Buy for not, being about their trade-in thing and, being able to price match. And
Hmm.
look, I'll get any new game for $10 anytime. You know what I mean?
Hmm. So,
So,
with that, be careful if you are using those devices. I can't officially advocate that you use those devices, but if you do, be careful and don't advertise it.
and have
Um,
2 cartridges.
or have 2 cartridges. But we're not
Look,
advocating that on this stream,
no.
so yeah.
Look, I'm still gonna get my choice banned over.
Please, Pokemon, don't ban Will again. Anyway, the
Daddy needs
last
a blue
thing,
life orb.
the last thing that I want to talk about in this section is the changes in tournament formats. We're not talking about battle format in that battle format is staying doubles. I don't think that VGC is going to stray away from doubles anytime soon or ever. I hope not, because I'm starting to become fond of doubles. I was really hesitant, and Will was too. Will and I both, as a backpedal here, Will and I both came from Gen 4 competitive, and I used to play a lot of UU in Gen 4, so he and I are both basically Smoganites without using Smogan sets.
Yeah.
Gen 4, I think, was really... I mean, Pokemon in general has always been, as a community, really supportive of creativity. If you can have creativity in a small form like Pokemon where you only have 6 Pokemon and you can only have 4 moves, the fact that we can have creative sets in Pokemon still kind of blows my mind. But coming from Gen 4 in particular, there was a lot of creativity that was really respected. If you look at like Xenon 3120, I'm going to give a shout out to Xenon because I'm a little bit of a fanboy there. But Xenon was something that somebody that Will and I both watched.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he was a really high-end player. He played a lot of RU and a lot of NU. And I mean, that to me was where the most creative stuff was happening. And that, I don't know, Will and I coming back from that and then going over to doubles, we were both really hesitant, and it took a little while for both of us to kind of adjust to the doubles strategies and the doubles metas, and there's a little bit of hipster in both of us as far as the Pokemon and the teams that we use, which is why we're not always at like the 1900s. In fact, we're never at the 19s because we can't
I was about to kiss it one day.
Yeah, just
then I ran into a wild Paul Chua.
Oh.
And then I backpedaled from there.
Oh.
Just pew pew pew.
We can discuss backpedaling next.
No, whenever I see Paul Chua, it's like, if I win, I'm just going to lose the next 5. If I lose, I'm going to lose the next 5. Paul Chua
is your black cat.
Mm-hmm, he really is.
Shoutouts to Paul Chua.
Like, yeah, when I see him in person, I have a great time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I do well. But when I see him like online, it's like, this kid.
I have only encountered Paul Chua once. It was in an international challenge, and I was trying to make like 2nd or 3rd level predictions, and he just played me at face value. And so I'm predicting his switch because he's expecting me to do this move and protect here. And Paul was like, I'm just going to play the field because I assume you're an idiot. And then he won. I was like,
because you're an idiot.
Yeah, basically. So, kudos to Paul Chua. Anyway, let's talk about this tournament format thing. There are a few things that I think we can discuss. Namely, select online competitions getting more CP and mid-season showdowns, which we don't have a whole lot of information on. But so, Will, what do you know?
I know that there's a crap ton of PCs around my way, which I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the East Coast is getting hit with a lot. I know that the Midwest is getting quite a few. Particularly, I think it's like, what's MO? What state capital? What state abbreviation is that? MO?
Missouri.
Missouri? Well, they got quite a few over there going on.
Yep.
That I saw on Nugget Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I know, at least in Philadelphia, I don't got crap, so I got to go to New York and New Jersey, which I hate driving, but
it happens.
But although I know for the fact that those PCs are usually like 40 plus people, so and if we're getting, because there are going to be more and the points are going to be more, it's going to be feast or famine pretty much. So I know those are going to go to the super regional, or not regional, Premier Challenge rank.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. So like
I was just scrolling through it.
Anything with 65 or more people, I think there's a
Premier
kicker
Challenge
all the
elevated?
way down. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like there's a bigger kicker, which is kind of cool. So, but for people like me, whenever we get the few in PA, I'm going to them and I'm going to win them because I have to.
Yeah.
Because New York's the freaking hub for East Coast Pokemon. It is.
Yeah. No. Totally is. I can agree. No, like, looking through the point spreads, I never really paid too much attention to the amount of CP. I can tell that there's more for, like, 2nd, because you've got awkward numbers there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, the fact that they're introducing more tournaments, so now that we've slowly scrolled, mid-season showdown seems pretty cool. It seems like a mid-range between a PC, like a high-end PC, and a regional. I mean, just based on points, you get 90 points for winning that, and then a regional you get 150, and then if you go to a Premier Challenge, you get 30. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. That, there is a mid range between the regionals and a PC. There's like a cool, I don't know. I don't even know. Other than calling it a mid range, I don't even know what to try and compare it to. I mean, a regional playoff of sorts. So I think it's really cool. I like the fact that they're introducing more tournaments. It gives people like me a little bit better chance because living in the Midwest, I basically either get driving 8 hours to get somewhere to battle somebody or no CP. And that's what I've been doing the last 2 years, where I've competed in 2 PCs in Jenks, Oklahoma. Shout out to Alien Games. You guys actually hosted a really nice tournament, but the turnout in Jenks, Oklahoma, which is just outside of Tulsa, it's a suburb of Tulsa, I mean, we had like 10 people. Yeah. So there's some pretty good players down in Tulsa. Nico, I can't remember what Nico's last name is, but he's on Twitter. I don't remember. I'll figure it out later. But he's pretty strong. But when you're in a group of 10 people, you can abuse that and put in a Parish Trap team and win an event with a Parish Trap team. Whereas something like Kansas City Regionals, which is one of the only other tournaments that I can go to, Kansas City Regionals, you can't win with a Parish Trap team. You can do pretty well with a Parish Trap team, but you're not going to win Kansas City Regionals with a Parish Trap team.
Unless you're like a Wolfie Glick that can, that's like 5 steps ahead of you already. Yeah. Like the man, like I'm not even playing the man right now, but he's 5 steps ahead of me, and he already has that set on me. So, and I'm okay with that. But that's only Parish Trap because I think the man loves it so much where he has like every scenario like in his head.
And I mean, if you can build a team that's a little wonky and not quite super meta on exactly what you would expect on a Parish Trap team, then I guess it would sort of make sense. Oh, other big thing about this that I want to mention real quick because I get easily distracted. The fact that you get 45 points out of an online tournament. I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now,
especially because, like, the bottom, like, I'm not going to say, like, the bottom of it, but, like, I'm going to say it this way anyway. The bottom of, like, the people that got free trips to nationals was only, like, 300 points last year. I'm presuming it's going to be closer to 5 this year.
Maybe so.
But, and I also think that a lot of it's going to help, too, that a lot of these dudes right now, like Cybertron and all that, like him going to the West Coast helps a lot. It loosens up over here a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, like, some of them are losing their team building buddy. And I'm not, it's not me talking smack here. And that a lot of them are just going to college now.
Yeah.
And again, you're going to be adding a lot right here. A lot of these dudes, as soon as they start getting mad, they're going to be like, Pokemon, what's that? Whereas, the older dudes were like, nerd. Because it's the truth, man. Because these kids are just going to start experiencing life right now. Where they're going to college. And, it seems like, and over here, because it's such a giant, like, cluster, I think it's going to loosen everything up, especially with some of, like, the brighter minds going elsewhere in the country.
Yeah, no, I can definitely understand what you're talking about.
And the fact that, like, dudes like Ray Rizzo aren't really trying anymore. I know he's brilliant, and I know that he's, like, damn near a neurosurgeon in Pokemon, but he hasn't been himself.
Yeah. No, we have discussed that as far as Ray Rizzo not quite being Ray Rizzo that we've all kind of expected.
Yeah.
I mean, what, 2 years now?
No, he won a couple regionals. Like,
he did really well last year, but this year for sure.
Yeah, this year he just bombed out, and it is what it is. Like, I saw him at a PC, and one of the dudes like in my that I travel with, he bodied him in the one PC. Like in Top Cut, he just was like, I saw Parish Trap. I have a general idea of what Ray Rizzo does. I mean, not Parish Trap, it was Trick Room. He's like, I knew what Ray Rizzo was going to do. And I assumed, like, either A, he has Mental Herb, or B, is going to be a Mega. And I assumed right. He was a Mega Guardy, and he tried to trick room, didn't work, and I bopped him. It was all slow team.
Yep.
And unfortunately, in this meta, if you're running a trick room team, you have to have fast mode.
Yep.
And I get it, like some people don't want to run that, but if you don't, you're screwing yourself up.
No, you either have to run something, like you have to run a hybrid team. You and I have discussed this too, where with Trick Room, you can't just run pure Trick Room
No.
very effectively. And again, just to shy away from any straight out absolute statements, it would be extremely difficult to run pure Trick Room. Have I run it? Yes. The San Maractus team was pure Trick Room. That was Brave Hippowdon, Brave Steelix, Quiet Rotom, and nothing fast on the team. Because it was Brave Braviary. So Braviary slow on its own. Maractus not very fast. I mean, Maractus might have been the fastest thing on the team, to be honest. But
like I think the way I think I do it right, at least with the speed tiering. I have a Dragon Dancing T-Tar, so that can go from okay, I can survive in Trick Room and be able to like hit middle of the run, opposed to being like top dog. Fine. In Tailwind, he's after DD, he's the fastest thing in the world, pretty much. And in neutral, I Dragon Dance up one time. The only thing that's faster than me is the Jolly Landers.
yeah,
And I can live with that.
you don't see those very often. What is that, like 10%?
When you see that, it's a pain in the balls because that close combat doesn't feel good.
I can imagine Superpower would hurt.
Oh, superpower, excuse me.
Yeah, no. It's the same move. It really is.
The only difference is
I just didn't want the YouTube comments to be like,
Will doesn't know what he's talking about.
Superpower. It's not close combat, Will.
Nerd.
I just want to check, see what percentage are 20%. So double what I said it was.
Yeah.
20% are Jolly.
And on top of all that, like I said, like there has to be like you have to like at least team building wise, you have to see it like you have to be able to run in every mode. Like you can't like you have to even be able to find a way out of trap, like Perish Trap. You have to be and all that. You know what I mean? Like you can't just sit there and be like, oh well, like there's a Whimsicott and a freaking what the hell is that Gengar in like okay, you know the Tailwind's coming right off the bat. Either you're going to kill it or you're going to got to U-turn the fuck out. It's simple as that, and you just got to be smart. You have to have at least one thing that either U-turns or Volt Switch. My personal opinion, I'm playing this game too damn much. You have to have something like that, or a Taunter that's faster than Whimsicott.
So I've got Salamence up here because the most recent rendition of a Trick Room team that I was running it was a Choice Specs Salamence that I was running Timid. This is VGC 14 meta, where the most common Salamence, because there wasn't a Mega Salamence at that time, you would see special attacking Salamence with either Choice Scarf, so it would be Modest Scarf, or Timid Specs. And I chose Timid Specs because I feel this way about Mega Salamence too, where pure special attacking Salamence without any sort of boost is not good enough. I don't like the damage output from special attacking Salamence enough. Area Light Hyper Voice just doesn't have the damage output that I want. I do run Mixed Ments. I do like Mixed Ments, so I appreciate Naive. I can understand Naive. Mine is dumbly enough I think Jolly. I think it's Jolly. I don't remember. But I have Heat Wave on it, because Heat Wave does a lot of damage to a lot of things, and fire moves are really good right now. But I really don't appreciate... Anyway, what I'm getting at here is that Will's totally right. You can't really run pure Trick Room anymore. It's not a thing that you can really do. But having a hybrid Trick Room, where if you run into another Trick Room team, you can bring your fast team and your Trick Room setter and screw over the other Trick Room team. And I've had that happen, where somebody brought out their Gardevoir, set Trick Room back against me on turn 2 of Trick Room, and then bopped Uxie once they saw Trick Room. And I think that that's one of those things where, like, I get away with a little bit of unbalanced hybrid Trick Room because I'm using Uxie, and not many people know that Uxie has Trick Room. But the more that I use Uxie, the more that people learn about Pokemon, the more that Uxie as Trick Room setter is going to be a little bit more common, because it's about as bulky as Umbreon. But, I mean...
It doesn't take a knockoff very well.
It does not. It does not. All right.
I mean, it's viable, but meh.
With that, I think we've been going for about 45 minutes, so I think it's about time to take a break. Will, are you okay with that?
Oh, God, yes. I need water. I'm so hungover.
All right, so we'll be right back. See you guys soon.